Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Well, man, today's gonna be let's talk about a couple of things. You know what I'm saying? Let me introduce myself. My name is Miguel from GVP 2000, known as Gateway Video and Production, GVP Sport. We're from Miami, Florida, homestead, all the way up north from, like I say, from the Key West all the way to Tallahassee. We have to go out and film and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, I got a couple of topics to talk about today. I love to be on the media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and stories that go about high school football or college or whatever. One of the main topics that's going on now is Dion. You know what I'm saying? His decision of moving in, going to another direction and stuff like that. But I always say is when we get into that topic, we you guys got to understand, man. We are human beings. We have to do what's best for our family first. Number one, usually when we make decisions to move on to a different location, relocate, or whatever, we sit down with our family, and how you say we we make that decision with our family, with no one else. You know what I'm saying? Because you just don't make a decision on your own. Because you have to understand the move. What do you have to do? You have to sell a house. You got to all this good stuff. It depends how it goes, right? So I'm here to discuss about this situation. About the whole story about Deion Sanders. Man, listen, and I even post this on Facebook and Instagram. You guys out there, you're gonna always have haters, no matter what. Always. You're gonna always have the haters. I always say that people who gonna disagree on what you doing. What are you gonna do in the future? What I can tell you is I really don't know too much about the university that where he coached at, but I can tell you one thing with those years that he put in there, you know, he brought something to that school. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, come on, man. If you look at the story, I mean, for me to talk about it, I had to go and do my research and stuff and look the background of the school and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. I'm a true believer of no matter what college you go to, you know what I'm saying. As long as you get an education, you could better yourself and be somebody very important in the future and help others. Every school, every university will give you that. But when it comes down to sports, it depends of the whole atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at it, I mean, I'm not knocking the school or nothing like that. I'm not here for that. Number one, okay. Let's get that straight now before you guys stop posting anything or typing some crazy stuff and all that. That's your opinion. You have the right for that opinion, but I'm not agreeing in some of those opinions that you have. We're here to, like I said, your opinions is your opinions. And I respect that. That's number one. But like I said, I was reading a lot through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. A lot of people were really upset with Dion moving from one university to another. You guys got to understand one thing. Again, like I say, it boils down to family too. We as personnel, we have to make decisions for our family. Better our family. Um, he made a decision to go to Jackson, right? He went when he first started. You got to look at his background. You know what I'm saying? Coach is not a quitter. He's the type of person that wherever he goes, he have to learn from it and conquer that area and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at the whole thing. He's always learning, make it better. You know what I'm saying? More excitement. And we need people and personnel like him to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because everything changed every year, every second of the day, things change. But what I can tell you about, and I don't know Dion personally, number one. Okay, let's get this up front now because I don't know him personally. I know a lot of, I know a lot of artists. I know a lot of football players, ex-football players, and stuff like that. But I don't know him personally. I just know of what he do and stuff like that. But I can tell you, I'm very proud of what he did for the university. His he played a big part in the university. That's all I can tell you. Because I look at it like this: from him to do come to a school that the program was so hanging in there. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real. He made it to another level. He made these kids come. to school and feel like, I could play for something. We're being seen now. And you could see the program, how it changed slowly and then it started moving fast. You saw how that train started building and it started moving slow, then suddenly it started moving a little faster and faster and faster. You could see what he brought to the table. For again, like I say, you guys have the right on your opinions. We all can do that. When our team lose and all that, we talk and all that. We have the right. So, like I say, you guys have the right, your opinions to what you want to say. Um, you got to respect the man. Number one, as a human being, you got to respect him because why I say this, we make decisions in our life. I choose before we left Miami. We sat down. I sit down with my family. You know what I'm saying? Where we gonna move, where we gonna retire, stuff like that. Where we go? It's a family decision. Dion did not just make this overnight, neither. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it 100 with you. And all writers out there know, like you guys know that this was not how can I say? Let's keep it 100, right? Let's keep it real. This wasn't gonna be his long time school. You know what I'm saying? Because this school had a lot of things that have to be fixed and done. This was the learning block for him, meaning he came, he changed, he brought kids to this school that other coaches might couldn't bring to this school. Number one, let's look at the good things. You know what I'm saying? Do we have the good and the bad? Yeah, we sometimes. But me sitting back watching what he did, this man didn't do nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it 100. The only thing, and I'm gonna put this on the table, because I know a couple of people will agree with me and won't agree with me, is a coaching job is a business. Number one, let's keep it 100. No, it's a job. He have a job to do. He have a job to make sure he could get kids to come to his program to make that program better. You understand what I'm saying? And be successful in that program. And plus, help the kids at the same time that when he's there, he's helping these kids get to that next level. That's his job. If he can't do that, like he said in his interview, you can leave or they're going to fire you. The good thing, he did not get fired. He did his job and went beyond his job. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Now, my thing is, me as a person, we all different. We got different creed. Me as a coach, and I always say this when I was doing little league and middle league and then in high school, I tell the kids up front, you know what I'm saying? If there's a position come up and I feel it's good for me and my family, I'm going to give it thought. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to think about it. Then you think about that. Let's be 100, you know what I'm saying? Because this just don't happen in college. This happened in the pros, even in Little League. It happens in, matter of fact, let's go way back. It happens in Little League all the time. A coach jump from one team to another team. If that coach don't have that winning team, you know what I'm saying? He gonna go and recruit and go to another part, But that's what I'm saying. Let's stop pointing fingers and throwing shots at somebody and stuff like that, because this been going on all the time. Then you have some coaches that, yes, they are very, 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 how can you say it, is I'm comfortable of what I'm doing. I like this school. I want to continue here. And they stay in the school for 20, 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it 100. They stay there for 30 years. They become legends. Bad or the good, they stay in that school. Am I right? And you got those type of coaches. Then you have coaches, like I say, that I'm going to build this, put it together, and I'm going to hand it off to someone else because I need to go to the next level. You're going to fault that man because he want to move to the next level? No, you should not fault that man for that. That's his opinion. That's his life, But again, I go back to Little League. You see it all the time. Yeah, they don't get paid. But guess what? The coach always want to win. He want to win. He want to go to that championship game. He want to go to the playoff and this and this and that. His name is being known, what kids he have and stuff like that. Because if you look at it, if you look at some of these football players now, you go back to Little League and you see who coached that kid, who was really why that coach had that kid playing for him. You can pick and you can find out, Coach JoJo or Coach Miguel couldn't win the championship because he didn't have these players. But the following year, Miguel went and recruited, and he got all these good players, and he continued keeping them same kids pound to pound to pound, and he won championship after championship after championship and after championship. This is where I say some coaches stay in the park, but they continue moving up the pound because they go with their players. Same thing what Coach Dion did. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with him? What's wrong with him? There's nothing wrong with him. He did what's right for him and his family. Respect him for that. But I always say to a coach, let's keep it real. Because again, I was not in his office. I was not in his, how you say it, in his locker room. So we don't know everything. You know, he was. If you want to know more about him, you got to ask his AD. You got to ask his coaching staff. You got to ask his players. You know what I'm saying? A coaching job is not easy because you got to coach these kids from different ways, you know what I'm saying? Because each kid is different, you know what I'm saying? And we as writers and media and all that, our job is to go try to find the bad and the good and try to put it together, do a wheel and, you know, a wheel of the video and all this and stuff like that to make sure what was the, you know, but I'm that type of media guy that I always stay in the back and always watch everything that goes on in front of me and on the side of me and see what's going on. And I look at it in a different way. At the end of the day, you got to look at this man as a human being. He have things to do, you know. It's like me. I moved from one place to another place to learn. You understand? I learned. I put this program together. Okay, I help kids. Now I could go to the next level and help other kids. So the same way I help these kids that came, let's prime example. Let's say he was at a JUCO school and he helped these kids at a JUCO school. Am I right? And he helped and he made that JUCO school to be known, to know who it is. Now I want to move to an NIA school. I want to coach an NIA school. He's building his resume. He already made it clear and signed that he don't want to be a coach in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Because he told you it's different in the NFL. Now these guys are getting paid millions and millions of dollars, thousands of dollars. Who is you? I'm just a coach, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? For you to hurt him, you got to find him and all that. It's different. It's not like in college and in high school that this football player, he's trying to make it in life. Number one, he's trying to get out of the community. He's trying to get out the hood. You know what I'm saying? So he's trying to find an avenue to move on and be better to get to that next level. And football is not for everybody, number one. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Start selling wolf tickets to the kids. That's number one that I can say. Even to all these recruiting companies and all that. And you might disagree with me or dislike me for what I'm saying because I do highlight for kids and all that. I keep it 100 with them. I let them straight up, let them know up front. You know, listen, man. You might don't start, you know what I'm saying, to this school, number one. You might go in there and a coach going to tell you anything that your mom and dad want to hear. That's number one. Okay. Let's start right now with this. As a coach, it's my job to get the best football player in my program to make my program much more better than it is now. Okay. That's number one. All coaches are different from each coaches. Some coaches are real cool with players who could talk to players and feel their pain, know where they're coming from, and all really about those players. Then you got some coaches all about just business. Remember, I get a check every week. You know what I'm saying? And I got to do what I got to do because I got bills to pay. Now my bills is not, my light bills, not just $200, $300, it's $400 because I live in a bigger house, right? So they got bills to pay. Some of them look at it like that. This is a job. It's a job. Okay? Now, I give you a prime example. You know, you got 4 years to coach those kids. You might have 5 if you redshirt him. You understand? Or if he get injured, you got enough extra year. You know what I'm saying? You got enough year to coach these kids. You know what I'm saying? And make them who they is for the future. You know, I love coaches that help kids grow up to who they is, number one. You know what I'm saying? When you help kids that come from a background that really don't have anything, and meaning they don't have nothing because they only had two things: get out of or go to prison or be dead. You can say 3, right? But these kids make it. You know what I'm saying? And even the ones who make it sometimes lose their life to nonsense of other people. You know what I'm saying? And my prayers and my condolences go to parents who lost kids like that. You know, that they're not kids that bother nobody, but guess what? You know, their life was just took like that. And then you have coaches who, like I say, who really do care about football players, and not just because they're a football player, they care about them like that's their own family member, you know. And then I brought that to you now, and I know other football players that, like I said before, I know and I understand, you know. And I would love to call their names, you know, but I don't want to do that. But I know a lot of ex-football players from the NFL and college that they work with kids, you know what I'm saying? They want the best for those kids to become better men in life because they bring back that to the community, you know what I'm saying? And that's a beautiful thing, you know. And I always tell football players, you know, off rip, if that's the dream of your dream to make it to that next level, and some will make it before you, but don't quit. Keep working hard and all that. You're gonna get there. It might don't be easy like the other kids. You know, you probably slipped under the radar any kind of way. The coach really didn't like what you did or whatever. It happens all the time. You know, remember, in this type of football game, you know, you gotta out be a little bit more. Ooh, I caught my eye. He caught my eye. Who is that kid? You know, I'm old school. I believe in the blue chip player, meaning if you go out there and work hard on that field, you grind with your team, you like a leader, not just a follower. You do the right thing in the classroom and off the field. I'm that type of coach that I look for kids like that because you know why? That I could go to that football player and I say, hey, listen, man, can you help Jack out? Because he look like he's not doing what he's doing. You know, you can help him out and all that. You've been there before and all that. And that football player will help that other football player. This is the type of kids that I look for. I don't always look for those like. And to me, my opinion, these 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, to me, that don't matter. To me, it doesn't matter because you can see, and you can see it on TV now all the time, and you could call out a football player out real quick. You saw, man, he overrated. You saw this kid that he was overlooked from this top division school, and didn't recruit this kid. And he went. This school went and got this 5-star kid that he was overrated, but they knew he was a 5-star because he dominated the other schools. You know what I'm saying? And oh, we gotta have him, and they go out and get this kid. Then the kid that you shoot that like I say is a blue chip player, and he's a dog. He come to your Division 1 backyard and beat you like a real puppet. He treats you like you wouldn't know by just dragging, just throw you down like ain't nothing. You like looking at yourself like, hold up, what did I? This boy's 5-star All American and da 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 da. And half of the time they're not all that. Again, the job is hard for a coach. You understand? Because a coach got to have other coaches put in this staff to go look for these kids. You know what I'm saying? And then you grab kids that, well, what I always say is crybabies. Oh, I did this in Little League, and I did this in high school, and I did that. So it's like I deserve this. To me, as a coach, it's a privilege to be a football player. It's a privilege to be a coach. That's how I feel about it. You know, that's my thoughts. That's my opinion, right? Like I say, you guys have your opinions, I have mine, you know what I'm saying? And that's how we roll, you know what I'm saying? So who is who to who, right? So, but my thing is here is some coaches would say anything to make sure they could get this football player in their facility. It's a job. If the coach don't do this, you know, no make no sense for that coach to be a coach. Even in Little League, we have coaches, and I don't care, and I'm sorry to say it, that the coaches would go that extra mile and buy him a cleats. And we always used to preach this all the time when we was coming up. That's against NCAA rules. They find out coach did this, coach did that, sponsor. So they turn around, let's go be a team sponsor, team now. You don't break no rule. I'm a sponsor for this team, so I buy everything for not just one kid, but all the kids. You know, they always found a way not to break the rules. Meaning, I really want this kid, but man, listen, for me to have this dog right here, I need to look out for the rest of them because if I can't look out for the rest of them, I go out and get this dog and pay for all this. I'm violating him. I'm hurting him. I'm not hurting myself. I'm hurting that child. So it was always a way to go around things. You know, that's the game of football. I'm not here to lie or what they call a whistleblower and all that. No, I'm keeping it 100 because my thing is when I do live stream, when it comes down to sports or anything, is to keep it real 100 with you guys. Why? I've been there. I've been blessed in a way that I didn't have to buy no kid or do this for kid. You know, I was always real minded of how you say it, in a way that help a child. It's up to him to continue. And you talk to the parents and you let them know, listen, I got your child only for 3 hours a day. You have him every day. Make sure he do this. You know, I'm giving him a project to do, and let's make sure he take care of this. He go here and do that, and you know, follow direction 100%. That's how I look at things. Follow direction at all times. You know what I'm saying? You got to build that relationship with those parents, in Little League to high school and all that. And back to coaches moving from one place to another. A lot of coaches say, hey, I don't like that kid because he moved from one school to another school to another school to another school. A lot of coaches don't like that, right? We always preach that. But you sit back and say to yourself, "Dog, man, coach is doing it every day. What makes them better than me?" You know what I'm saying? And this is where I say you have to learn how to pick your battles. You know, you got to pick your punches and this is that. So I'm that type of person that I stay in the middle and I stay real neutral. And I'm like, hey, I'll be up front, like, hey, I have to do this for this reason, this reason. You look at my record, I don't bounce from one place to another place too many times. You have coaches that do this all the time. I know some coaches in high school does that all the time. I know one personally that went from one school to another school within years, back to back to back to back to back, built something and left it for somebody else. I know this happens all the time. So it's nothing new. So let's stop acting like, oh, this is new. It's not new. Let's be real to ourselves. This is not new. This been going on since youth sports. And it happened to every sports too. You know what I'm saying? But we are lucky to have coaches in college that have been in that program for many years. Is because one, he loved that program, he loved the school, he student body and all that. It could be a small school to a big school. You can see it with even in a small school. You got coaches that stay in there because they believe in the program. They're living okay. They're satisfied how they living. Number one, you see, it comes down to that too. Living. We make decision in our life what's best for us and for my family. You understand? Because tomorrow is not a promised day. Am I correct? We have these student athletes from 4 to 5 years, and we got to teach them. And sometimes we don't have these students, three of us, because they be so good that they'll lead to the NFL in their third year. And let's be real, prime example. I'm a UM fan 100%. And I'm a UM fan. No matter we lose or win, I want y'all to understand this. You might tag me now and say, oh, you're a loser, my school. It is what it is. Because I'm not the one putting the shoulder pad and the helmet, and I'm not the one calling the plays, number one. So me as a fan, I stay out of that. I'm like, oh man, he should have ran the route a little better. You know, we as coaches, we see that. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do. You know what I'm saying? That's our opinion. But before you jump on somebody's case and all that, are you the one wearing a helmet or a shoulder pad? Are you going out there 4:30 in the morning, sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning, working on your own with your co-players and go out there before the coaches come out there? Are you the one sitting in front of the film when everyone is still sleeping, have not got up yet to brush their teeth and shower up and eat breakfast and be out on the field? You're on that room. So if you don't do that, please respect the football players and the coaches. That's all I got to say. You got your opinions, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's not true. Now, the only thing you can say is, damn, coach, you're not doing your job. Damn, player, you're not doing your job. That's all you can do, you know what I'm saying? But until you don't get in their face, we just chastising you know this kid or whatever. Okay, I understand that. But you're not on that field. You know what I'm saying? It's like, don't, how you say, don't knock on something. You don't want nobody to knock on yours. You know what I'm saying? That's 100, you know. When I talk about sports and all that, I keep it 100. We as analysts see that and we see it. Okay. Now, like I was telling you, you know, it's a job on the coach. The coaches got to tell their parents, the parents, honestly, those parents right there on the spot that how you say this word, I have to sell myself. I have to. I have to sell in the way that, how you say, excuse me, I have to get your child to come to my school. Because I am not the only coach knocking on your door to try to get your child to come to my school. Now, we do have a lot of people who in our community that look out for kids. We have different programs out there. Me as a coach, like I said, I used to have my kids compete with other kids. To keep kids out of the streets and stuff. That's number one. So every writer out there, I respect. They doing their job. They're writing what we need to know what's going on with these football players academically and off the field and on the field. And after that, um, we always preach to our football athletes: try to pick your friends. Please try to pick your friend. But in the long run, you can't judge a person for what he did. I always preach this to the kids all the time. you know, is you're gonna hate that child or that your friend that what he do is not the same thing that you do. You don't hate that person. That person choose to do what he want to do. It's just how you put yourself in that position. Meaning, if I know he's over there dealing with something that I don't want to deal with, you know what I'm saying? I won't go over there in that crowd. I go the other way. If he holler at me, hey Miguel, what's up? I said, come over here, holler at me. You know what I'm saying? I try to stay away from somebody pointing me out and saying, hey, Miguel was over there and he got to be a part of that. Yeah, that's my friend, number one. Let's keep it 100. That's my friend, but I don't do what he's doing. You see what I'm saying? You got to learn how to maneuver and stuff like that. But when you're young, you don't see it that way. The older you get, then you'll realize what I'm saying today is what I'm trying to tell you. And football players, young players, you guys are sponge and you guys are learning a lot of stuff. But at the same time, you got a lot of people who are not in your best interest. You know, again, are not in your best interest. So I always, and I'm always say this again, I would tell a football player quick on a heartbeat, an athlete real quick. When a coach come to your house to interview you, remember, he's not just interviewing you, he's interviewing your parents too at the same time. So you got to have that mindset. If he's interviewing me, I got to interview him too. You understand what I'm saying? Ask those questions. Don't be scared to ask a coach, hey, coach, how long you going to be at this program? What do you bring to this program? What is in your interest of this program? Why do you really want me to come in your program? What do your program can offer me that another program can't offer me? Coach, I know it's a job, but if I commit to you, I'm not just committing to you, I am committed to your program. See the difference? So student athletes, you guys need to start opening your mouth and interviewing these coaches. Don't be afraid. People say, hey, man, be careful what you ask a coach, what you say to a coach, because they might knock your dick. Listen, if it was meant for you to go to that school, it was meant for you to go to that school. If it wasn't meant for you to go to that school, it's not meant for you to go to that school. Let's keep it 100. I always tell personnel, man, don't be afraid to talk. It's the old saying, I don't know if I might say it the right way. If you don't speak, you won't eat, right? You interviewing a job, you interviewing the boss. Same thing when they interview someone for a job. When you go on an interview, they ask you questions. Why you left that job? What was your skills? What do you bring to our department that will make our department much better? You know what I'm saying? So that's an interview. You understand? So to all the people that they would tag people on Instagram and tell about Dion moving to another university. Hey, it's his priority. That's what he want to do. He's doing it for him and his family. You know what I'm saying? Then you look at this other side and you say, well, dog, what happened to the kids he recruited? Man, those kids was coming to play for him. I don't know what he told those kids. I don't know what he told those students. I don't know what was being promised or said and all that. We don't know. Kids can move from one place. With the portal open, this is a different monster now. I was one of those, before this came up along, I was one of those supporters from day one that I always say, why should a college make millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars? Just the football program alone. Let's just be realistic. If it's not basketball, it's baseball, but football is weak because I grew up in football. If you look at prime example, my school, I never went to the school, but my program that I love, that I follow a lot is UM, and so on and so on. That school make a lot of money. It's a private school, am I correct? But within the football part, it brought that, UM is a private school, right? It was known for baseball. Let's be realistic, known for baseball. But when that football program popped off, the OB used to get swole up because we love the youth. Come on, we could go way back when football was going on with the Miami Hurricane. Come on, it was a real losing program that, like, if you look at the players that were playing for UM, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I never checked this, but don't get me wrong, I'm not disrespecting no one, but I don't know where they at, or did they play in the NFL? I'm talking about the beginning of the University of Miami program. Every program have issues, but let's be realistic. And you could say I'm a UM fan. Let's be when did you become a University of Miami fan in football? I'll be honest. I became a University of Miami 100% UM fan when they beat Florida State. And I forgot what year that was. I think I was in junior high school at the time. And junior high, somewhere around there in the sixth grade, I became a UM fan. I was in Liberty City at the time. But this is where I say I became a UM fan. But I follow the U, and I do research on the U and all this, how long it took, when we really, not switching the topic, but our lineman was big. The lineman was not from Miami, Florida. Them boys were from Oklahoma, Nebraska, California, Oregon. If you go back and you check the linemen that we used to have on defense and offense, them boys were not from Miami. Let's keep it realistic. We had them fast stunners and all that coming from Polka, Jacksonville, Gainesville, Orlando. We had them from everywhere, Miami and all that. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it 100. Our quarterback, come on, man. Our quarterback was from out of state, But I'm just saying, I'm a fan. Win or lose, I'm still a fan of the program. I won't agree with a lot of stuff that the program do, and I don't agree with some of the players that they picked. And for a fact that I seen this kid play from Little League to where he's at, and I'm telling you, you don't knock a child. That's another thing that we judge. I want the best for that child. You understand? But if I know that child is getting it because of his name, his brand, or who he know to put him on that field, you're not doing no justice for that child. I'm the type of person, I want to help a child that he hungry, he could do it. You know what I'm saying? Half of the time in colleges, we have spoiled brats in our team. Let's keep it 100. I'm going to keep it right 100. Some students won't agree with me, some will. It is what it is. At the end of the day, that university, and not just University of Miami, all university make money off these football players, athletes, or whatever, and go on. I was one favorite for students to get paid going to school. Meaning, this for a fact, a football player couldn't even, get his jersey and give it to somebody. I don't know if it was like just Little League. I had to hide my jersey at the end of the senior year and keep it and take off or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just saying. Now, my only thing I disagree with this Porter thing is, if we were going to pay our student athlete, man, let's pay our student athlete down the borderline. All of them get paid. You understand what I'm saying? Why you make everything equally? Some people might say, no, Miguel, you're wrong, because this kid is a caliber kid, bigger than all the rest. You know what I'm saying? He's deserved to get a perk and more in this, But if you keep your team equally to everyone and you let them know, listen, man, everyone going to eat here. You understand what I'm saying? And then you can say, no, Miguel, it don't work like that, because if it was all that, so the head coach, assistant coach, and offensive coordinator, and so on should get paid the same, right? That's true. You made a good point on that. It can be. And I respect that. But I feel to control the issues, you pay the players the right way. You know what I'm saying? Because they working. Am I right? Yeah, they have insurance in college. If they get hurt and all that, the insurance would take care of them. If they, go to doctor, that's one thing, all that. But I always say this, and I pull the thing need to change a little bit, because some players who really go out there and bust their rear end don't get nothing. They still get peanuts. It's like they still doing what they did 10 years back. And I feel like if you can make $1 million on this kid, why this person can't make some money for him and his family? You understand? Because right now, I'm gonna be honest with you, 95% of football players now in college now have children. Yes, they do. They have children, they have bill, they have cell phone bill, they have this, they have that, all this crazy stuff. You understand what I'm saying? So they can't go to work. They can't go to work because they have to be in school. That's one of the rules. You can make so many hours, you can work here. If you're off scholarship, then you can go to work. But when you're on scholarship and stuff like that, that's that. That's this and that. So for a college won't go broke or nothing, you hiring this player, so you paying back. So back to the Deion Sanders thing. I agree and I respect Deion Sanders for his decision. He came in, he changed the program, he changed the whole atmosphere of the program. Kids wanted to come there and play. They wanted to play for the facility and they want to play. My opinion to that school is you guys knew you have someone a point like Deion Sanders in your program. You guys need to really find a way when another coach like Deion Sanders status or something come that you got to provide a standard in your program, in your facility. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for people to just throw rock at you all day, and you're not trying to fix the problem. You guys have to come to a point to fix this problem. This man came and he's put half of his money, his earning back to your program. When you got someone like that, you got to understand to yourself, hey, I have to come harder. If this man here is putting his own money, and Deion got money, don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? This, like, you see how he be waving his hand and grabbing. Deion is a very smart man. You know what I'm saying? And it's not me riding on his wagon and all this other stuff. I'm gonna keep it at 100 because I know a lot of professionals. Like I told you, I would love to say their name. You know what I'm saying? That they're very family member oriented. They take care of their business. I was so proud to be around people like that. That they still continue to and help the community, the kids, and all that. And this man is not done by a long shot. This man have money. He have his family. You can see he have a son. I saw a comment I disagree with. I didn't like. I was not upset, but I was like, man, how can you talk about somebody like that? Do you have his style? Meaning, did you play football? Did you do this? Did you got to the next level? How can you talk down on somebody that you don't know and you never been there? He took his son to a smaller college and all that. You don't know. You probably don't know the whole story. He probably said, well, I'm going to this school, son. You know what I'm saying? Who as a father will not love his own child or own son to play for him? Every father want that. Even myself, if I had a job right now and I have my two sons right now playing, like, let's say my grandkids right now, I'm coaching in high school and in high school, who would not love that? People might say, oh, well, you treat your children a little different than the other one because you're gonna be more hard on him because you don't want the other football players to feel like you patting him and you letting him go there. Probably that his son probably say, you know what, Dad, I have opportunities to go anywhere I want, but God, I want to play for you, man. It's a blessing to have that. What father won't want that? I would want that. But I won't pressure my son, but I would want that. And my son say, Dad, I want to play for you, man. This is what I did. And this is what my sons, my oldest son and my youngest son, when they were playing ball, they wanted to play. My youngest son, when he started playing 7-on-7, he was a first 8th grader in any high, all-star team. And I'm talking about all-star team. And he was the first 8th grader playing with high school level kids from 9, 10, 11, and 12. He was the first. I was proud of that. Yeah, he was playing with, again, the stars. And he hung in there. He gave all his best. I was, as a father and as a coach, I was proud. After that, more 8th graders stopped playing in that position. You know what I'm saying? We were giving them opportunity, man. So Deion Sanders had an opportunity to learn the system, not hurt the system, but build the system where he was at, made it what it is now. Let's understand that. Look before he came and look what he did now. So now the person who's coming behind him have something to work with. That's the most beautiful thing there too. Have something to work on that he put there with the AD and all that. Because remember, everybody can't do everything by themselves, number one. And I heard his interview and stuff, and the man is straight up, straight shooter. You know, he couldn't do everything by himself. Number one, he couldn't. He couldn't at all. He could not do everything by himself. The AD had to support him. Then the AD got a boss, and that boss have a boss. So everything have to go down the line, down the ladder, down the chain. But if people say, who not in the right mind, it's not always about money too, man. Y'all get it twisted, man, sometimes. But the money will pay your bills and give you stuff. It play a part, but not a heavy part. Remember, this man have money. He can do anything he want to do. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. This man can go anywhere and do whatever he want to do. But he love the game of football, and even not just that, he love to help kids. Some of y'all might say, "Oh, nah, he's there for himself." Bro, man, think about something. This man got money, man. What is you talking about? That's when I say you are a hater and don't know what you're talking about. All right? Man, if you right now you get on my post and you text, "Oh man, you don't know what you're talking about because the man broke and that's why he doing this and he doing that," man. You need to look in yourself in the mirror and say to yourself, "Man, what am I talking about?" You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about this because I get tired of seeing these crazy posts and all that. But again, it's your opinion. I'm happy that what he did, everyone saw it. Everyone on TV saw it. Let's be realistic. Did the media came because of Deion name? Me as a football analyst, and I look at football from Little League to now and all that. Yes. Let's keep it 100. Yes. Did it come because of his name? To a percentage. Yes. You know why? Even when he got there, he got a little bit media time until he started making changes. He started pushing himself with the kids and all that. He started doing his own thing. He started doing this and doing that. That people start seeing, hey, Deion this, Deion that, this and this and this. He dancing, he this and this and this. He's bringing the attention to what? Not just bring my attention. If I bring the attention to me, I'm bringing attention to what? To the whole program, right? Because I'm part of this program. So I have to bring this attention. So he got that. So guess what? You ever heard of another old saying? If you start winning, they'll come. You over hear that in movies, speech. If you build it, they'll come. Trust me, it happens. And then when you just pumping, these kids are believing in what you preaching to them and what you pushing out there. These kids gonna run into that wall and pass that wall for you. And that's what Deion did. Now, do Deion want to move up? Yes. That's life. It's a cycle of life. That's what he want to do. You got to respect that. Because why you going to chantage Deion for this and all this other stuff? All the other coaches does this. It's a part of the job. So I tell the coaches the same thing too. Well, coach, don't get mad at this football player because he go to different schools and all that. That kid probably looking for the best spot for him to play. You know what I'm saying? Am I right? Let's keep it real. He's looking for the best position, best spot for him to play. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? Let's be realistic. So stop getting mad. Coaches, stop getting mad at players who want to go from one place to another place. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. At the end of the day, that's his life, right? Same thing you doing. You go from one place to another place. And that's why I tell, when I speak from my heart. You got football coaches that would go to a program, build a program. That program was nothing. You understand? That was nothing. No one knew about that program, and become one of those programs that's grown to become compatible with other teams. And then something else, he's in a small program, and a bigger school called him, and he got more talent over there and all that. So he go, right? Hey, the kids might don't agree with it. The parents don't agree because they gonna feel like you leaving us, bro. You leaving us and you going to another school, right? But if that coach builds something for those kids and those kids believe not just on that coach, players, you got to understand it. You got to believe in the program, not just on the coach, because even if the coach leave today, another coach gonna come in. You don't want that coach to change what coach did, but it's like a marriage, Every marriage are not the same. So things change. But it's up to the AD, the principal, and so on in the school to pick the right person to come in there to continue that process. When you interview the coach, look, coach, I'm not saying that you're not the coach that just left here, but we want our program to continue to be successful and pushing these kids to the next level. I want college coaches coming to my campus every month or whatever to see our players, our student athletes to that next level. You need for if you could do that, you know what I'm saying? That's how you should tell a coach before they get hired. Because it's sad that another writer wrote this on Facebook and on Twitter, and I agree with that. It's sad that you don't take the time as a coach to give information to the media and the writers out there about your student athlete. It's sad, man. Coach, you really hurting this kid. Those are the coaches that only think about themselves. Because at the end of the day, you when you accept this job, you accept this job to help this football player if he want that help. Meaning he's doing everything you put on that whiteboard. You understand? On that whiteboard, every day is something different. What we got to get better into and all this other stuff. Now it's your job to make sure when those recruits come to your school, right? The recruits, like honestly, when these college coaches come to your school, right? They probably coming just to see one or two of your students that they really been watching. But you need, as a coach, man, you gotta sell your team. It's not just two players, man. But some coaches might say, Miguel, nah, man, because you gotta push for your kids and all that. Listen, it's not promised for me to be here tomorrow. I might die tomorrow. What about that? Right? So when a coach come to my school now, even when I was in the high school arena, when a coach used to come, man, I used to just, okay, you came for this senior day, you know what I'm saying? This junior, man, but this junior, this sophomore, this freshman, this is the deal here. But you need to come check us out every day, coach. I was that type of coach that I get film and do the highlight of the whole team, and I send it to the school. Because, they're going to be like, oh, let me look for number 33. Oh, man, who's that number 28? Damn, who that was? Now you put them on the radar. You as a coach should do that. If not, if you say to yourself, man, well, I can't do recruiting, I can't do this and do that and do everything. Well, that's the reason you have coaches on your staff. You got to say, hey, listen, coach, I need you to prepare film for this player and that player and this time. We need to send our film to these coaches every day. You know what I'm saying? We need to do this. Now, I need a defense coordinator to do this. I need the offensive coordinator to do this and send these film to our colleges to let these kids be known. That's your job, man. So by saying that, Dion did the right thing. It's a part of the job, man. I know sometimes it's bad. It's sad that the player be like, dog, man, I wanted to play for Dion for the next 4 years and stuff like that. Stuff like that happen. But all coaches does this, man. Not just because I'm throwing his name out there, but the coach of Alabama. He came from one school, went to another school, from another school. Then he went to the NFL and came back. Now he's in Alabama. He's sitting there in Alabama doing great things. And, he liked the program. Like I say, coaches buy into the program, you know what I'm saying? And all that, you know what I'm saying? Will Nick Saban might leave Alabama? We don't know. That's his choice. We don't know. Same thing at Clemson. Look at that coach. He came and he made up a comment one day. If you mad at my OC or whatever, you can fire me. It might can happen. But if you look at his record and you look at what he has been doing, not just for the school and program, look what he's been doing for the players. And now let me tell you about the NFL. NFL always looking for that top-notch player, that winner, that dog. And what department, what school he come from. If that school is winning, and being pushed, you got players right now in college that they ready. Believe it or not, they ready to play in the NFL. Honestly. And NFL and college, two different dogs, meaning you still a pup in college. When you get to the NFL, you see them big boys running fast, coming full speed that they can't. It's different. You can ask the last college player that go in, you thought, they went in there 1 year and you don't see them no more and it's all like that. Like, it's a different monster. Yeah, but I played against these guys in college and all that, but it's different. You know what I'm saying? So this is where I'm saying, More props to Dion and Dion and his family members and his friends that do understand who the one who he spoke with and all that. He made a decision. Is he gonna continue helping kids? Yes, he is. Every coach should help kids. You know what I'm saying? And he's gonna do that. Now, what I can tell you now is he same outfit that he had at this university, he brought it to another level now. Remember that's Dion. You know, he's gonna make it another level, another level. Now in color, you know what I'm saying? Nah, he's in a big division. He's in a big school that players gonna want to come. But these players already know, hey, how long you gonna be here? I want to get here. Cause they looking at it way up to that next level. If I could get there and play under a coach that believe in me and he do this and all that, he could be done. Whoever thought he would finna flip kids like that? People said it in the media and everything. How can this college coach in this little school rep college put together, whatever, right? Remember, this school is a good academic school too. You understand? Don't get it twisted. But we talking about sport. We're not talking about academic and all. We talking about sports. You know what I'm saying? This man came, put his own money, fixed things. He went out, his coaches, your ADs and all that. We got Dion on our backfield. We need you guys to support us and all this other stuff. They came and refueled the field and all this other stuff. I don't know the future, right? And Matt, let's just say if they went out there and hustled heavy and probably built a brand new stadium there and fixed some of the problems that needed to fix, we don't know. Probably Dion probably stayed. He probably wouldn't stay. You got to respect his decision. At the end of the day, he got to live with that decision, not you, him. And he made a decision for him and his family. Now, is he gonna continue doing what he's doing to help kids and all that? I'm 1% believe that he is, and he's gonna continue. And I'm glad he's in it now. He's in a bigger, how you say, in pedestal that people can see him more. Now can see the X and O more. He gonna be more on TV. Can he be? That what he needed to be. And that's one of my topics. I mean, you guys got to understand we have a life to do. We make decisions in our life that we have to do for our family, you know what I'm saying? And that's the honest truth. And that's one of my topics, and that's how I look at stuff, that stop knocking on what coach did because he made a decision for him, his family, and his friends that he spoke to, and he do help a lot of kids, you know what I'm saying? Like I know a lot of ex-football players, baseball players. I have a lot of friends that do help student athletes, not just in sport, but academically. I know a lot of writers out there, that I'm gonna give him a big shout out, Jerry, you know what I'm saying? That he could tell you about me and I could tell you about him. He's a real X and O person, you know what I'm saying, who been in Little League area, watched Little League, grew up around Little League, have brothers who play in football and stuff like that he keep it 100 with the kids, you know what I'm saying? He don't sell them a wolf ticket, you know what I'm saying? I'm not that type of person that I will walk in that room and tell this kid, oh man, I know you can play in this school. The way I say is, bro, I know you can play in this school if you get yourself together. Everyone have an opportunity to go to any school you want. You know what I'm saying? And why I say that, and people be like, oh, look at my son from Division I school he was looking at into, and there were a couple of schools that were interested in him, but it was taking too long. I told him too, I said, son, you got to make a decision, not for just him. You got to make a decision for you. This is your future. Because every college give the same academically, how you say, a little differently, but same education, a diploma, that you could use that diploma in the future, because everything is not for everybody, number one. And he went to an NI school, and he loved it. Made him who he is today. I'm so proud of him, you know what I'm saying? That he's a graphic artist and all that. Who knew that my son that was in him, you know what I'm saying? He met other kids, he met other student athletes, he met other regular people that mold him. He started working at a bank and stuff like that. This is where I tell you that every school is not meant for you. You know what I'm saying? If he probably went to the school that he really wanted, he wanted to do what he's doing now. You know what I'm saying? So this is where I'm saying. Then my other one, he do projects in production and all this other stuff with jazz and all that. So this is where I tell you I have other student athletes who deal with fashion clothes and all that. You know what I'm saying? They were playing football, and then after that, you know what I'm saying? They're selling clothes. They make their own shoes, you know. And I'm proud of stuff like that because it's not just about football. You use the football to go to these colleges and get a degree in what you want to do, master what you want to do in the future. Because even football players, even ex-football players will tell you this. If you can look at some of them, honestly, I'm being honest. You know, let's just say, let's put numbers. I like to put 100 football players. Out of those 100, 65 of them, they go and put their money into investment, real investment, and they make their money because they know NFL is not there for all their life. Because when they get hurt, they could break their leg or whatever, and they can't play again. They don't keep the speed no more. Remember, it's about I got to fill that position. You lose your money, no more playing time. You still get paid, but you see things change. So you have to have something to fall back into. So I always tell a student athlete, man, if you're going to college for the wrong reason, just to try to make it to the next level, to the NFL, and you know you're not that type of person that know how to save money or don't know how to do finance and all that, and you don't have no one that really teach you about finance, or they just there for you to look good, buy a pair of outfit. Because I tell these student athletes, and it's so funny sometimes, you walk around here $300, $400 outfit on and stuff like that, and you broke it and broke. You know, I don't understand that. It's pathetic to me. You know what I'm saying? That you walking around here with $300-$400 suit and whatever, and you don't have a dime to show for it, but just that. You know what I'm saying? You go outgrow that. So learn how to buy finance for the players that feel like, oh, I got 3 or 2 years in this college and I'm gonna make it. And there's some student athletes that do make it to the third year and they just enter the NFL and become so successful at NFL that they know how to finance, they know how to do this and all that. And again, that's a beautiful thing. But if you're not complete, don't make those bad decisions, you know. And always remember what I'm gonna tell you. Don't follow a coach. Same thing a coach tell you, man. He's selling his program. You're playing for this program. When you put on this jersey, you're not playing this jersey for Miguel. You're playing for your football players. You're playing for your friends who on that team, your teammate, and the school. You know, and I always say schools need to learn stop pimping these football players and athletes. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping it 100. You make millions and millions and millions of dollars. You have stadiums, you know all that. So now, as you can see now, the selling point before was we have programs in a way that I can sell to my players. They got a stadium. They have weight room. If you can see now, the weight room is like, oh my God, over two to $3 to $4 million locker room for the football player, for they can feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Football players look for that. You know, before in the old days, they didn't have none of that. In the old day, the recruiting was like, come play for the best school in the nation. That's how it was. You want to play with the real ones? Come play here. You know, it was like that. And you knew who was the real coon, who was the real dogs and all that. So you go right over there to where they at to play with the best of the best. You know, that's how that was the recruiting in those days, in the 80s. And you know what I'm saying? Now, the only thing I do, I can go right now, you know, let's prime example, let's just say I get a job, right? And I tell the AD and the AD and all the balls, let's say we just open a program and say, hey, listen, I'm gonna have the state of the art of everything and all that. Kids fly into that now. Man, I got a TV in my locker room. I sit in my own little cubicle with my own little TV with my own place and whatever. Let's just you're buying that person. You're buying what they all about, right? So that you got him, boom, you got him. You like the dope dealer. Am I right? You gave him what he want. He stuck on it. He done became a junkie. He on it. So he gonna stay on it and be like that. So colleges are doing this. They're selling, you know. But you know when you go somewhere, I might have all this beautiful stuff, like I said, in the locker room, but I'm teaching this young man to become a man for the future. He might become a husband to a good woman, become a good father to his children, and repeat the same thing that I helped him and his father and mother and friend and coaches from Little League to high school taught him. He would do that to the rest of them, help the rest who's coming up. You know what I'm saying? So, our topic of today was let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? People that make decisions in their life, it's not just for them, but his family. You know what I'm saying? And football players and parents have to understand it. And I want to touch a topic on that even writers, I mean, when you write about a football player, man, I'm asking you these. When I write about somebody or if I talk about somebody, I do my homework, man. I just don't go out there just like that and talk about a person because you don't know the whole deal. You know what I'm saying? And that's the type of person I am. Before I speak about something, I got to make sure I do my homework. I might be late, probably 24/7, beat me to it, or Jerry, you probably don't beat me to the story, or Larry Lucy don't beat me to the story and all that. But by the time you jump on the story, you don't got your story grind, and I get it, and someone else like me come back and say, well, this, and it fall in place. You as a writer too look back, honestly, because you putting out there stuff out there that's not right completely. You know what I'm saying? So this is where I say is you guys got to understand how this whole thing works. You know what I'm saying? Again, I preach again. I always say, I make decisions that was best for me and my family that I had to do. But before I make that decision, I sat down with my loved ones and we talk about it. I just don't say, "Oh, I'm gonna take this position," and this position is leading me 100,000 miles away from where I'm at. My family probably not ready to make that move. I got to think about them. So when people make decisions like this, they just don't make it out of spring. They probably, honestly, you could say, well, they may coming at him from that. Yeah, but believe it or not, many schools don't be kicking him, hitting him up on the phone and sending him emails and all this stuff. Let's keep it real. That's business. That's a part of the business. That's a monster. You're gonna always have that. But when you say to yourself, like, look how long he could have left the first year if he wanted to. You know what I'm saying? But he said, no, I want to build something. I want to leave something here that I did it with my coaches, my AD, and so on, and friends and businesses that this school continues. It's not dying. It's moving. It got a heartbeat. It can move on. It can continue building on what I left. Because every time a coach leaves from somewhere, the next coach build on that. You understand? And continue building and building and building and making it better. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at about this. Let's give the man the respect that he deserved. Number one, respect him for what he did, what he came into this university, and he did what he had to do. He helped kids. He recruited with his coaching staff. He did not do this by himself. He did it with the help of his coaching staff that he put together. And let's give credit to the AD and so on. Let's give credit to the parents who believed in the program, not just on Coach Dion and his coaches that they believed in the program, what they offer to the kids. Let's give the parents a big thumbs up too. And when it comes down to, let's give credit to the athletes. You know what I'm saying, and not just that, to the fans who really say, "Dog, we really do have something to watch every Saturday, every Thursday night, or something." We got something to look at and be proud of. This program came a long way. Can we continue this program? And I believe it could be done. Yeah, you might. I done read a lot of articles. The media might disappear slowly but surely. But if you get the right person in there and continue and pushing and believing in the program, you know, it be like that. Let's be realistic. Even when Deion Sanders was there, and I always said it, he just started getting that school pumped up, being on TV here and there and all that, and not just that, you have like other coaches who've been there in that division, been there for many years. That, I'm being honest, the only time you saw these school was on a championship game or something, when it was benefit for the media to push. You know what I'm saying? So don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? Don't say, oh, this and this and that. These schools been here for many years, but he brought another flavor to it. You know what I'm saying? It was one school that when I was growing up that I only knew it was. When I was growing up, one of the when you say Lord in Florida, Florida State, you know what I'm saying? University of Florida. I mean, US. Those universities, they were like FAMU and stuff. And a lot of people used to talk about FAMU, and stuff. That was the only school I knew, at one time too. And I was like, because they believe in their school, you know what I'm saying? But you get a coach like Dion getting this program, and they move up. You know, FAMU was well known for the band. You know what I'm saying? Even when they used to play UM and all that, and still play UM, the football players come out of the locker room and they'll tell you stories to see the band. You know what I'm saying? But when you get coaches like this that can push the button to say to the media, hey man, we've been here same years of these big old universities. Yeah, their bank are more higher than us. You know what I'm saying? They got bigger stadiums. They have bigger investment or investors and all that. Yeah, but we've been here too. You know, give us that respect to come out and see us play. You know what I'm saying? We help these student athletes become men who they is, because if you look in the NFL too, it's not just Division 1. You got from Division 2, Division 3, Division whatever. You JUCO players that left JUCO back to Division 1. You have off programs that even they didn't make it in JUCO and all that, and they came back off program that you saw on ESPN a long time ago when they made championship teams and they right back into college, give them a second chance to be in Division 1 schools and stuff like that, and the high schools. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I'm saying. Then some of these players don't make it to the NFL, but they continue following the dream, and then they go to Canadian football and all that, and then here come they fall in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I know football players who I saw play in Little League and in college, and you know they did not get the opportunity to go to the NFL right there and then, but they went to other arena. It's like outlets. The more outlets we put out here, it'd be better for you. You know what I'm saying? Don't knock it until you try it. You know what I'm saying? Arena football, Korean, Canada football. Then they got these other leagues now. You know what I'm saying? Get in it. Keep working, because trust me, someone else gonna see you. Probably that coach that was there in that team before did not really care for you or did not see you, but the new coach that got that job, he looked like who's that kid, and boom, 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 you know, and it's there. You know, I like to see a lot of Florida kids and wherever, but I'm just saying, since I'm Florida, I like to see Florida kids stories, the ones who really, really work hard and didn't get the opportunity, and they get the opportunity and show everyone it's hard work. You got to get it. And to this day, I know kids right now that is playing on the second level of football, trying to get into the NFL. And I'd be like, man, why he has not get a phone call yet or something? But it happens like that. You know what I'm saying? You got the coaches, and the coaches don't, you know, and they work like that. You know what I'm saying? But they don't give up on their dreams. You understand? They get better, man. But at the same time, I say, please get your degree and all that. Even for the players that leave early and don't finish the degree and all that, and you're blessed to make all that good money, try to still get your degree, because I'm telling you, it take one injury and it's over for you. I'm being honest. You can ask football players who've been in the NFL a long time, and right now you have football players that they'll tell you, I wish I'd have saved my money and retire early and live off my money and my investment and continue playing this game, because I got my leg hurt, my knee. Or if you see some football players now these days, the way they walk, how they talk, how they speak, they move their head because of the injuries and stuff. This game is not an easy game. It's a hardcore game, you know. For us as Americans, we like violent games, you know what I'm saying? It's a game that we love. You know, my children played it. I played it when I was young. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff in football, but let's respect our student athlete 100%. And as student athletes, you got to respect the journey that you're going to take in life with football coaches in school. You just don't play for that coach. You play for that program. You play with your teammates. You know what I'm saying? Because coaches come and go. Same thing now. Now, as you can see, I'm your friend might be with you today, and he probably don't want to tell you to hurt your feeling, but he's leaving to another college by Monday. He putting his name in the portal. You know, it happens. You know what I'm saying? Some kids, we feel like I can't play here anymore. I'm not getting the opportunity and all that. You know, and can you be mad about that? No, that's his decision. You know what I'm saying? If I could go somewhere and play somewhere else and be competitive and make that program better, why shouldn't I take that chance? Take it. You know what I'm saying? But it can't when you enter that portal. Remember, it's a different monster, because you know how you say a lot of schools are picking players from different schools, and you might fall in the hole and don't get picked. Now you got to say to yourself, damn, is the school that I was leaving would still accept me to come back. Some school will, some don't. And then you look at it in this way too. You got some coaches that, I'm being honest, that have regrets and be like, well, why you had to leave? Why you wanted to test the water? And they'll hold grudge on you, and that's it. You don't build your own casket right there on the spot. I always say don't burn your bridges. I mean, talk to your coach, let him know how you feel in a respectable way, and explain to him why you're making these decisions. A real man will respect you if you speak to him as a real man, not as a child, or you outburst and do some crazy stuff on the field and all that. A coach will respect you 100%. You know what I'm saying? If that coach is not full of crap. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? If you got a lot of coaches out there that would listen to you and understand you, and he'll say, okay, young man, if that's the decision you want to do, you do your thing, but if you want to come back, these doors are still open for you. That's a coach that really do care. If a coach say, yeah, young man, that's the decision you want, you go ahead and leave, man, just don't come back. When a coach tell you like that, honestly, he was not there for you. Number one, he's not there for your beneficiary or nothing. He's there for himself. A real coach, is like a father figure. We at the children gonna make decisions that might be bad decisions that he not gonna like, and the father will tell you, son, if you make that decision, you got to deal with that decision. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna baby you. But if you need to come back and work hard again and all that, the doors are open here. That's a coach. I respect coaches like that, and there's a lot of coaches in these days in high school, little league, and in the professional and in college that do that. Prime example, Deion Sanders. And I could continue them, but I'm not talking about other coaches. This topic was about Deion's decision, and he did what he had to do for his family, like I always keep preaching. And don't fault that brother for that because he put in work. Remember what I'm telling you. He put in work to where he's at now. No one gave him anything. He earned everything that he got now. He earned that. He ain't getting nothing for free. He worked. The teams that he played for made money on his name. So why not? Right? I'm a commodity. At the end of the day, he was a commodity. He made the team better just by the name and all that. He was that type of player. He might have his swag and all that, the way he do things, how he come out and all that. You got to build your own swag. It's not being selfish or nothing like that. Every player got his own swag. So let him have his swag. You feel me? And that's it. I will finna talk about another topic, but I'll hold that and we'll do that next week, Sunday or Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So thank you guys for tuning to my little, how you say, my little, I'm trying to do this every Saturday or Sunday about football, youth, and all that. Because GP always in the mix of something and doing. But that's it. So you guys enjoy your day with your family member on this beautiful Sunday out here in Florida. It's shining, sunshine, and everything. Again, take care of your family members. Love your family members. And don't judge nobody before you judge yourself. All right, my brothers and sisters out there. Till next week, stay tuned. GVP 2000, known as Gateway Video and Production. Everyone knows by Gateway Video and Production, GVP Sports. So continue watching us here and there. We're starting this little thing from my little office here. If you want to go to our website, it's www.gvp2000.com. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and all that. So we're trying to post everything that I did so many years from 1997. I'm going to have football games from those years all the way to this year, from high school, from Little League, and so on and so on. Highlights that I did for some colleges and all that for football players who are 40 years old, man, right now. I was proud of that, stuff like that. But again, man, I hope you take respect everybody's decision. We might don't agree in their decisions, but the person is a human being. He has to do what's right for his family and everybody. So again, man, take care of yourselves. See y'all next Saturday or Sunday. Take care. GP 2000. Miguel. Love you guys. Be blessed. Take care.